Mic check, mic check. Can you guys hear me? How you guys doing? How was your day today? Hey, Osama. Osama Katak. Nice to see you. I recognize the name from Twitter. Mic check. I just want to get, quick. Let's just get the logistics out of the way. Can you guys confirm that you can hear me loud and clear? Very good, very good. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just I'm working through this. How do I do the subtitle option? Could you guide me? I'm looking at the Hey Phoenix, how you doing? How was your day today, guys, by the way? Was it good? I mean, today was sort of straightforward-ish. We had multiple market maker models up and down. It was exciting, I thought. And it was fast too. It was pretty quick. It gave me an idea of what to talk about today, actually. Not sure. Sometimes. Oh, okay, right. Right, maybe that's something I can do in the studio, in the YouTube studio, maybe. I think it's a setting that has to be done afterwards, I imagine. I imagine. One second. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's something I can do right now, but I'm guessing it would be after the stream. Anyway, hopefully we can find a solution to that, and hopefully that will be helpful. Anyway, yeah, today was pretty straightforward, I thought. If you're looking at the 15-minute time frame here, it's a very nice, multiple opportunities to raid liquidity, multiple. And apart from that, this was Tuesday. So the fact that, we had a Wednesday low, and you can imagine you're not looking left. Where could they go? They could go here. They could go here. They could go here. And ultimately here. So typically, that's what we consider a nice market maker buy model, no? And if you do your measurements here, you want to get your 70%. I might as well do it, right? Where's the OT? OT is right. If I can find my OT, right there. If I take it from here all the way down, there you go. 70% is right here. Let me show you. Because some people will tell you, oh, you can't predict hindsight. You can't predict what's gonna happen. Yeah, well, check this out. What's this open? 29,746.25. This is 29,745.50. Now, here's my question. You have 29,745.50. You have 29,746.25. Isn't that a gap? A volume imbalance of some sort? Pay attention. You see that? You see that right there? It's the same thing. I don't know if you guys can, I'm gonna make this thicker. Okay, cool. Now you can probably see this better. There's your sweet spot. Always. 0.705. There's a tiny little PD array in there. Spike through, spike through, spike through. It's like, nah. If they're not taking that, where do you think it's going? In this period, you see this? In the AM, between 9:30 and 12. 12 sets it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lay the land. Boom. Takes liquidity. And that's where we are right now. Where is it going? I know. I get it. Inefficiency, inefficiency, inefficiency. All day, every day. It was beautiful today. The thing, to be fair, I was doubtful when it was spiking low here because I was looking at 10:15 and I'm like, oh, like this is going to be so annoying. But the moment I'll show you, let me show you 10:15 on the 1 minute. I'll show it to you. On the 1 minute right there. So 10:15 opened right here. And it was just accelerating, which it should because we're going for the, we're going for pre-session liquidity hunts. And basically, in fact, if I'm more to be precise with you, let me show you what I was looking at. I bet somebody can guess what it is. There's the low. There is the high. It was right here. And I'm going to take that and make it a quadrant. And we're going to take the high of 27.29. 7 p.m. 7 a.m. opens right there. For the sake of visuals, let's make this crisp and clear. 7 a.m. open, there, right there. You have the low and you have the high. That's it, 7 to 7:30 range. Boom. Like clockwork. I was doubtful because of the way it was rallying lower, even though I knew my 7 to 7:30, I can trust it. Sort of like a, safety net in a sense. And I understood we were going to get a market maker model just because of the way it was forming. Clear as day. These are things that you post ahead of time. You tell people about it in spaces. You try your best to communicate it. And now you guys can see me. How you doing? But you try your best to communicate these ideas. I spoke yesterday, or maybe I just dropped it. Yeah, no, never mind. I spoke about it a little bit, about speed of delivery. up and down. Objective completes. Now we get a new one. What time? 10:21. We're getting a new one. Yes, I did. Thank you very much, Meba. I mentioned it, I think yesterday or the other day. Definitely, I think yesterday I did. Into the 7 to 7:30 range, and that was all she wrote. New objective. High, lower high, liquidity. Where could it go? Where could it go by 12? If you know my times. Where's 12? 12 was right here. Where could it get to by 12? If the objective is, if we're supposed to follow the rules and if it is automated and we can trust it. Right there, 11:43. What is the rule that I posted about between, what is it that I mentioned about, hey, Usman, we got those 3 consecutive, yeah. Same thing like yesterday, right? You remember? Yesterday and the other day. I'm telling you, these things repeat. Same sequence. I remember going to a specific individual space and I was there saying, hey, listen, I think, well, I didn't say I think, to be fair. Maybe that's what triggered him. But I was like, hey, listen, there's something that the market is 100% controlled and it is 100%. And he said, oh, there's no such thing as 100%. It's like, okay, no problem. Have a good one. That's what he says. Like, no, I'm not going to argue with a man on his own space. It would be disrespectful. But the truth don't lie. And the charts will never lie to you. I've posted about these things multiple times. There's 12 right there. But what is the rule, or what is the specific thing that I said about 11:30 to 12? Between 11:30 and 12, where is it? 11:30 is right here. I'm going to put a line right there. 11:30, boom. And I said 11:30 loves what? A liquidity raid. Okay. Well, there's 11:30. There's the high, there's the low, there's the high. 11:30 is opening. I'm going to remove this line now that we know what it is. This is the range before 11:30 opens. Premium, discount, liquidity raid. Check this out. Fair value gap. 11:30 lows, 11 to 12, 11:30 a.m. to 12 lows a liquidity raid. Do we get a liquidity raid? Yes. By 12, into the inefficiency there. And if you want to get deeper, you can study this area. But I'm just going to show, I'm only going to show the things that ICT wants to show. So it is what it is. But yes, you will see them. These things, I'm telling you, this thing is automated. And if it is automated, what's going to happen? It's going to be controlled. Because that's what they like to do. And then you have 12 right there, and you're thinking between 12 and 1, which is the real lunch. And say what you want, argue with whoever you want. It ain't gonna be me. 12 to 1 is the real lunch for Globex, forex. I don't know. London has left the building in a sense, or London PMs. Think about it. If you were working in London and you're working for, say, a huge bank, like one of the larger banks in London, what time would your break time be? What time would your lunch time be? If you're working in Germany or say Frankfurt, the financial hub of Germany or Europe, what time would your lunchtime be? I mean, they are an hour ahead of us. What time is their lunchtime? What time is their closing time? You see, like, we have to be able to understand some of these quote unquote industry. Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. It was deleted before I saw it. But yeah, like you have to understand the times, not because their times are the times that actually control the market, but you want to understand if these guys are the real liquidity that is being hunted, because they don't care about retail. Then the question is, what times are they really working with? What times? See, this is the way I like to think. This is why I keep repeating things like you have to imagine yourself like you are some sort of market maker. Can we consider the London session from 12 a.m. To 5 or 2 a.m. to 5? You want to encapsulate the entire London session as 12 to 5. Not because the London kill zone is, and when we say London kill zone, we're throwing in Frankfurt. So you might as well call it the Europe kill zone. When I was living in Dublin, I would get up early in the morning and go for a walk and all these kind of things because I wanted to be by the screen at 7 a.m. in the morning. Now you can imagine how cold and dark and but it is what it is. But it is not because these guys are already operating at 2 a.m. New York time. No, it is Frankfurt that is they're having a relationship. So Frankfurt is already making moves because in Frankfurt they're an hour ahead. So for Frankfurt it's 8 a.m. That's why when you look at 3 a.m., let's say like I don't know, pound dollar or euro dollar or something, you will see the difference at 3 a.m. because that's the London Open. If you're strictly speaking about London Open specifically, that's London Open. HSBC, all these guys, 8 a.m. is really where when they start firing up their engines or when they're thinking of doing deals. Anyway, all that aside, what was the point I was trying to make? Yeah, so basically, you want to focus on these times. You want to know the biggest influencers, not on YouTube, but the financial markets. What times do they do their deals? What time are they working with those in New York? Those on the other side of the world? And then, can you imagine if you were the one controlling the market, how would you help them facilitate their deals so they can exchange with each other? That's what's going on. That's how I understood time anyway. Yeah, so, we're talking 12, and then between 12 and 1, you have 1 here, right there. Oh, no, sorry, right there. And then 1 a.m. is like, it's just gone. But between 12 and, say 12:30, where it's 12:30, is right here. Same thing. If I put a line right there, boom, let me show you. Scoop. 12:32, liquidity raid. Come back down. What's it reclaiming? It is reclaiming the fair value gap. It's not even coming down to the 50%. So that's a good sign. And then you get your order block. This candle opens at 12:39. Trips a little lower into the volume imbalance in there. Let me show you. You see the gap open there? Close, open, rally. I mean, like there's so many things going on in here, as always. So many things going on. But the point is, these are the basic things that you need to know, regardless. And then now, the liquidity rate is here. You see that? It takes this one into there. Now you have perfect highs. Perfect. Now we can go for that. Fair value gap. Boom. Same thing. If it doesn't repeat, why does it keep repeating? I mean, like what else are we meant to call it if it doesn't repeat? I'm telling you, some of these guys, their marketing is great and mine is not. But I can guarantee you the product is good on this side. So here's the funny thing, right? When I'm explaining these things to you guys at, at 1:30, sorry, yeah, when I'm explaining to you after 1:30 in the afternoon, because we're looking back at previous, AM session, it looks like hindsight, right? But in real time, you have to have the ability to say, I want to see this happen. Then 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 I want to see this happen. I would like to see this happen in this way. And I'd like to see it happen by this time. If that can happen, it's going to give me things that I need to see for me to confirm that we're going higher. That's control. And when it gets to the ultimate target I wants to get to for PM, right here, which is on the 15-minute, I think it was, fair value gap on the 15-minute. Basically, you as the market maker, what you're thinking is, okay, I know the New York PM guys, then they are going to want to do some financing or whatever. Maybe they want to get out of trades, or they want to reallocate funds, or whatever it is they need to do. That's none of your business. You are the one pricing this thing. It's done algorithmically, but you have to think, what is being coded? What's the job? Where must it be by 1:30? The inefficiency. And then they're giving you this little CB here, then, immediately, before anything, it's coming back in to fill it up. And then but notice how they're engineering this thing here. You notice that? Engineering it back into the inefficiency, because now they have to work that inefficiency on the left. And right now we're printing, so now we're getting bearish order blocks with this and bearish order block with that. You want to see a CB to get these lows. No? Let's say it doesn't give it to you because, we don't know. We don't know what's going on. Nobody knows what's on the right. All that kind of logic. Okay, cool. If it doesn't give you, let's start focusing on price action here. If it doesn't give you, do you take the trade? At least you shouldn't, because it's not giving you the things that you want to see. It's not giving you the confirmation signals, the PD arrays that you need to see. Like, yes, to be fair, I'm only speaking about, you only hear me talk about fair value gaps and order blocks and the basic stuff, because that's what the man himself has chosen to share. Or that's what he has chosen to talk about all the time. But we all know he is talking about so many other things that you should be using. Close, gap open right there. That is the quickest, that's the fastest, PD array. Close to open. Like, there's nothing in terms of speed of delivery. That's the fastest, for price to get from one point to the other. That's the quickest one. It is what it is, like an NWOG in a sense. It's a volume imbalance. That's why I love them. I love volume imbalances. But anyway, the point is, we're now in the inefficiency. If they want to, give you this low, for example, and then this low, for example, do we need inefficiencies to form? What does it look like it's forming right now? It hasn't closed yet. It closes in about 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Right there. Next candle opens. Is that a fair value gap or is that not a fair value gap? Like right now. Isn't that a CB? That's a fair value gap right there. What is this? immediate rebalance. Immediate rebalances is why you get these kinds of order blocks. Right there and then, you're seeing it live. So if they want to give it to you, listen, listen, yeah, listen. You guys, you need to understand some. Mr. Cappuccino Jones ain't want to be messed with. Listen, they're messing with the wrong guy. I was doing this yesterday for 4 hours and 40 minutes. Yesterday, with the guy who's a paid client, and anybody who wants to really want to know, like, this is a taste. This is a taste. There are on Discord, it's a totally different language from what you're hearing here. In all fairness, totally different language. But here, you gotta be respectful, and you gotta, curate your articulation to people who might be doubting. Okay, cool. Does it look controlled though, guys? Please like and subscribe. Does that deserve a like and a subscribe? Man. Still spots open for discount. Well, think about it, right? We did have equal lows here. So we had 130. Think of the logic that was explained just a few minutes earlier. We had 130 open. We're setting it up right there. They set it up early so that they can then rate it right there. Oh, okay, so still spots open for discount for the Discord. The 150 is the discount. It's a 50% discount. It's a 50% discount and thank you for asking, Meba. It's a 50% discount for founding members, because it's a new entity. I'm trying to build something. It only makes sense that people who trust me, without any quote unquote established, proof, like, we have so many people in the Discord, no testimonials, no, none of that, because it's a brand new theme. So, but yeah, like, that's why it's a discount. And then those people, they get perks, they get, a bit more precision concepts that I've learned. And then once, the founding members, are established, and, right after that, then, we go back to normal, and then it's gonna kind of take time. It's gonna take a longer time, for me to talk about certain things again. It is what it is. Folks get rewarded for their decisions in life. This is the real world, and I'm a very realistic person. And the other thing actually I'm thinking of doing, well, not thinking, I already made the decision, is I realized that people only really care about the 9:30 to 12, like the AM session, the market opens. So I kind of decided it's going to be, going forward, it's going to be from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. So it's not going to be from 7 a.m. because, who wants to sit in front of, who wants to be sitting listening for 5 hours? To be fair, I kind of had a different idea, but I'm realizing that maybe I have the time, I have the luxury, I have the, God has, given me that opportunity to be able to just, be here however long I choose. But maybe it's not like that for other people. So, moving forward is going to be from 9 to 12, but the price is going to stay the same, because You know, time is expensive, and it should be valued and respected as such. But anyway, yeah, thank you for asking. You give me space for a sales pitch. Yeah, no, like, I don't know. I'm actually really enjoying these live streams. I really am. But yeah, going back to price action. Enough of that. Going back to price action. When you look at price now, when you look at this now, there's no fair value gap there, is there? The fair value gap that we were talking about, when we were doing the countdown, it's not there. Did they take the liquidity though? Yes, they did. Where did it go? Man, you know what I'm gonna do? Let's sauce it up a little bit with some quads. Pow. Let's get that precision in there for those who don't like precision. Where is it? This low, you're looking up here where the mouse is. This low is 29950.50. The 25% is 29950.50. Oh, buying and selling pressure. So you're telling me I already have these ideas, and I know every high and lows will always form at some inefficiency without fail. This is what I said in the individual space. 100% controlled every single time, to the dime. To the dime. If that's not precision, please tell me. What do you call that? Control 100, baby. You know the brand. Beautiful. Oscillating between this inefficiency and this quote unquote. Remember this one? On the 15-minute? The 15-minute inefficiency. And that's where we're hanging around in there right now. So that's really just what's going on. But yeah, so far so good. They're gonna tell you it's hindsight though. So here's the other funny thing, right? You ever wonder how these things seem to work in my favor? Like, let's say I'm just so lucky. How is it I'm always lucky all the time? It works in my favor every time. When I use other things, it never works like that. But when I stick to what I've chosen to trust, lucky. Yeah, there's something else going on. Somebody is controlling these markets, and they know exactly what they're doing. And I'm glad and grateful that somebody was willing to share it. And he also charged for his time, and I'm glad that I valued it at the time it was available, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be where I am today. This is life. You make good decisions, and you will be rewarded for them. That's a fact. That is a fact. But that was a nice. What time is it? It is silver bullet in 3 minutes. Let me get my FX Pro ready, because things are looking good. I ain't gonna lie. Things are looking pretty nice. It's looking like it's popping up in here. So basically the idea is that you want to know the macro is almost ending. We've got about 3 minutes left. So it is 2:07 and 9 seconds, 8 seconds to go. So you want to get it ready. So here's the question. Please do like and subscribe, by the way. I think it has been helping me. I was looking at some of the analytics earlier today, and I am genuinely, I'm genuinely grateful. Now I understand why some of the other, some of the pro content creators, why they're really grateful to their followers, people who are loyal to them. They always like and subscribe and blah blah blah, and the language. Now I understand. So even some of the videos I was watching earlier in how to learn and grow and do this thing properly, so I can get some exposure. I was liking and doing the same thing because I understand it now. I actually get it. It's like an exchange of value in a sense, and that's how the quote unquote YouTube algorithm works. But yeah, so I'm grateful to you guys that are always, you're always on the ball, you're always on it. I genuinely do appreciate it. So yes, but yeah, we are in the inefficiency on the higher time frame. I really remember what I was saying about speed of delivery, that being the fastest, that spike being the second fastest. And then remember when this candle was a green candle, and I was saying that right there is immediate rebalance. And I was saying that order blocks are the exact same. Well, what exactly is an order block? Like, what is the exact function of an order block? Like, the exact function. Is it just, it's an old, the way I understand it, and I think the way ICT explained it, I'm not trying to speak for him, but the way I've definitely understood it is the fact that it touches that opening price right there. It signaled to me changing the state of delivery right there and then. Right there. Not here. I mean, sorry. What was I saying? Yeah, not here. Because this one is for this one. But that one right there already told me, yep, get ready. Get ready. I'm about to do something. Liquidity raid. And then switch. Order block. Right there. It's almost like they're telling you, we're going back in here. But before we come back in here, it's like, hey, yo, Frankfurt, get ready. Hey, I don't know, London trader, London PM trader, get ready. Meba, get ready. Osama, put that load in. I'm gonna get you through. How much do you need? How much you need? You need 20 billion? Oh yeah. Okay, let's grab it real quick. Pew, gone. Let's not give anybody else a chance. Kind of like a like a movie, right? But that's really what's going on. That really is what's going on. Is that we're going to bring it back up in there. But their algorithms are so quick. Like we're talking about high frequency. So fast. Like between that move, that's manipulation spike, and price coming back here. So, manipulation, come back up, come back down. Like they've probably done billions in there, or millions for sure. 9 figures for sure. They've already done it there. So, and here's the funny thing. Remember yesterday when we had price struggling at that inefficiency? Was it the 15 minute? Let me see if I can get it back up. Was it yesterday or the other day? I can't remember. I think it was the other day. I think it was the first day or so. Yeah, I think it was the first day. Yeah, and we were that's what it was. The 9:45, remember? And like the 9:45 on the 5 minute, and we were talking about how price was doing its thing here, and then like we were talking about how they're using that range, and then they dropped it here. It was the same logic. Same logic in there. It's like, oh, they're gonna get in there and they're gonna work it. It's not every time that they bring prices into certain areas and then you get a drop like that. It's not every time. Like this one, it's weak, even this one. It's not every time, but you need to understand what's going on, because then when you start looking at price like this, you start seeing things like this. They close above the 50%, and then immediately run back down, and then they start wicking it through. They start manipulating it through, making it look like, but it's just pure manipulation. Let me remove that line. That spike there, what's that? Same thing, right? Ain't none changed but the name and the mail. That's just the truth, y'all. I don't know what else to say. What do you guys think? Talk to me, talk to me. Talk to me, man. Talk to me. Is the mic good, and is the screen, is it sharp? Is it 1080p? One of the brothers helped me, like he commented that the quality wasn't good, so I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how these things work. But what does it look like now? Does it look sharp? Because on my OBS, it looks pretty sharp. You guys there? Time distance. Hey! Wow, look who showed up. Time distortion. Looks good for me. Thank you, Be Easy. Sounds good, Solo. Yeah, all good. Volume, I need to increase a bit for my TV, but it's okay. Okay. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Looks good, but not super sharp. So how do I get it super sharp? Like, I've done all the settings. It's at 1080p. Let me try this because I'll show you something. How about now? Because if that doesn't work, that's the only thing, that's the only thing left. Oh gee, that's even worse. Look at those wicks. My days, that looks even worse on over. It looks like ICT's doesn't it? You know, when the body start acting like looking weird. Okay. How about, yeah, I don't know, man. Okay. Yeah, it looks weird. I'm just gonna put it back to the way it was. I have it at 80% because it allows me to see more data. That's all. More data. I'm like a bot, you know, machine learning. But I want us to pay attention to this range. That's all. Like, it's nothing special. It's just, you know, because right now, oh yes, time distortion. Who said that actually? Yeah, it was Iolane. Where are you from, Iolane? Nothing to be worried about. Still can see price action and the detail. Yes. Yeah, that's the main thing. France. Ah, bonjour. Bonjour, mon ami. Hey. Qu'est-ce que, how is price? You know what I mean? Sorry. My French I did French in school. I didn't do too good, as you can tell. But, yeah. Let me take off the OTE of the old range and let's get these. But yeah, absolutely, Meba. As long as you can see price action. What do you guys think of the information so far? Or say in the last 3 days? 4 days? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think France has it. I think France has it, Husman. I think it's a France versus England final. And thanks for reminding me because I'm about to get it on. I'm about to get it on my cinema. It's been good. I will be joining. Oh, okay. Do you know which plan you're looking to join? tried out, but the no wick on my other chart too. Yeah, I'm just. Where is France? Where is France? Because like, yeah, it's in about 2 hours. Oh, okay. So you definitely want the 9 to. Well, you will be the second, and I'll be happy for you. That's for sure. Because I'll tell you right now, like I have like an idea that I have for the first 30, and it is pretty solid. And you will see. I mean, born again Christian, can't lie. And this level of control definitely did not come out of intelligence. I genuinely do believe it came out of prayer and it came out of dedication and meditation. Meditation being, meditating on His Word, understanding God's Word, and meditating on the things that I was taught by ICT, if I'm being honest with you. So, yeah, it definitely came out of that. It's one of the reasons why I can understand when he says things like, oh, it didn't come from him, it came from above. It's like, some people don't believe things like that. To each their own. But yes, ayo. How do you pronounce it? Is it ayo, lane, or ayalane, or ayalani? Because I almost butchered B-Easy's name yesterday. I was calling it BC. Then it was BZ and then B-Easy. It's like, what a cool name. Shout out Brandon, my man. I love him, man. What a guy. No homo, y'all. What a guy, though. Yeah, so we definitely do have some form of time distortion going on. Well, we did. What time is it, though? If we know, actually, great opportunity to talk about time distortion. If we know there's time distortion going on, what are they distorting for? And to what time? Did you guys study the, oh, yes. Let's get into it. So here's another perk. Yesterday, when I left you guys, I said pay attention to the 330 and 350. You remember? We're going to go back to 330 and 350 from yesterday. No, this is Asia. You remember this? Oh, precision. Man, remember what we were talking about, the controller? And as we were closing the stream, I said, pay attention to 330 and 350. Well, how about that? PDRA, price, controlling price, and time. What time is that, guys? What time is that? 350, baby. Come on now. At what point do people start believing, you know what? This guy might actually have a sense of control, He might be onto something. He might not just understand this in theory, but he might actually know something. What if there are certain PDRAs? They just do certain things, and they dictate how long certain things will take. Just what if? Like, just humor me, I mean, how many times have I posted about things like that in the last year on Twitter? Or, like, if you go back to my post from last year, you will see me predicting order block and implied fair value, things like that. Like, how under 1 hour, by the way. So, which means in 4 hours, in 4 hours, in a space of a 4-hour time range, I literally called exactly how it's going to print, not just where it's going to go, because you could see where, where I posted, where I said it was going to go. It was a bullish call. Don't get me wrong. It was a bullish read, but it was in the exact way, not just where it's going. Anybody can call, oh, price is going to go higher and it's going to go lower. It's going to take liquidity, but we're talking about how. Control means that you have insight into how it's going to be delivered. It's almost like saying you're posting a mail to, I don't know, say somewhere in France. We want to post something to Ireland in France. So we understand France is where we're going. Well, anybody can post anything to France. But imagine understanding the logistics. It's like, hey, we're going to have to, if we're bringing it from China, we're going to have to go through the Strait of Hormuz in Iran. And then if they block it, then we're going to have to go around and, we're going to have to spend more oil on shit. Like, this is control. Insight, baby. Anyway, yeah, so this was absolutely beautiful. It was really nice. It was nice to see. And again, up, down, market maker sell model. Boom, boom. Cook it up, hold it up, rise it up, and smash it down. Boom. Imagine expecting things like that from here. Like, I mean, it was live, guys. This was not a, it wasn't like a thing where, we saw it in hindsight. Like, we were talking about it. As we were about to close the stream, we were talking about this. I said, this specific PD array, pay attention to this one. Anyway, let's go back to live price action. Not always, but isn't that just, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Discount, leave the premium, took the manipulation low, took that low. Now coming into this volume imbalance area here. Where is the volume imbalance? Right there. This close to that open. And we have this rejection block right here. We have, no, it didn't even, did it take that high? What's that high? 2995.425. Oh, 2995.425. Interesting. We have 30 seconds left. No, sorry, 32. Yeah, so yeah, we definitely have 30 seconds left. I'm wondering, what does that mean for that rejection block? What does it mean for that rejection block? Because the only invalidator for it going to that rejection block is a spike lower into this place. That's the only invalidator. Like, literally. That would be the only invalidator. We're closing next candle. Next candle opens. They breach. It was exact. So if you go on a lower time frame, by the way, that candle there, when I was saying, the 299, it was this high, 29954.25, it was equal highs at that time. On the lower time frame, it would be equal highs. Simple. Like, ain't nothing, there's nothing complicated about it. Right there. Now you have a bullish order block. It's a weird bullish, if we want to call it a weird bullish order block. But so yeah, I want to see what exactly is that rejection block about. That specific one. Because if it doesn't reach, ooh, is that the Bolo array with the rejection block? So if it fails, we go back. Usman, you are asking, you're asking, you're asking, you're asking questions that you're trying to set me up, man. IO said they set the high at 1:30 p.m. Then it comes close to it, but kind of like it was not allowed to sweep it. 1:30 p.m. 1:30 p.m. was right here. Yeah, they just basically cooked it up. They just used it up there. They used that one there at 1:30, and then this one is a manipulation right there. So here's the funny thing, right? Rejection block is 29961.25. This high is 29961. Look up here. 29961.25, 2996100. It didn't even get close. If it didn't get close, where is it going? Came back into discount. And now again we have some sort of time distortion. This is just, price is trash. I admit, price is very trash. But are we in control? Do we know what's going on? Do we have a sense of precision? Is there a sense of, okay, this guy is reading something live, but whatever he's saying, things just seem to pan out. Why is that? What's going on? What is going on? Now it's stripped back into discount. The question is, what happened here? That's what you need to figure out. What happened here for it to now go up there? If it touches this rejection block with that one is like a form of liquidity raid. It's like a form of equal highs, by the way. The fact that it didn't touch it, to me, it's like, yeah, it's suspended. It's like suspended liquidity raid. Oh. I better not say too much now. But anyway, yeah, so, but yeah, the point is we had an order block here. We had the volume imbalance in there. We had this low there. We had this bullish order block there. We had, this reprint there. It's like a reprint of a bullish order block, So this right here is price is trash. But still, you see that gap open there? What time is this? Let me move this to the macro just for extension's sake. But yeah, to be fair, like this was similar to what it was like. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. This was similar to what it was like because yesterday's price action was quite difficult, but like you have to use certain things and maybe some advanced stuff to be able to stay in control because I don't want to embarrass myself in front of you guys. 30 minutes fair value gap, first quadrant per, okay. Message retracted or deleted. The point is, we're not looking at 30 minutes right now. Like I'm not looking at anything. I'm literally just reading 1 minute chart with you guys. Like yes, if we do this, then we can see what could possibly be, or on the 5 minute. But we weren't looking at that. Like literally, it's just this. This is all I see. What you see is what you see is what I'm seeing, or what I'm seeing is the same thing as what you're seeing. Like I have other charts, like of other screens, but you don't see me looking at them like, oh, I'm looking at the very same thing with you guys. So we're trying to read candle for candle. We're trying to read or anticipate if price doesn't touch this at this time, kind of logic. What does that mean? Well, it means it's gonna, and if you remember, you can rewind this, by the way. If you notice this candle when it was going up here, and the fact that it was off by 25 cents or a tick, notice the speed that it used to come down there. it was fast. That's one of the telltale. For it to go down here, like I was saying earlier, it would have to take this low. But it would have to defeat a whole lot of things in here. Like it would have to defeat this this quote unquote range, if I can put it that way. But look at that. Look at that rejection. Look at that rejection block there. Beautiful, no? Yeah, so basically all we have is, I like this low. I like this low. Personally, right now, I hope it's okay if I take off this rejection block thing. Right now, this low, like price not coming to this low, is a breakaway higher there. Price coming back to this low is your change in the state of delivery being contacted. There's two things, two options. If it does this, then it does that. I'm trying to copy the, you know, statisticals. That's how they do it, you know, with their scenarios. Man, ooh. Listen, you guys are very short of block. Reprint, boom. Two scenarios, price is trash. We don't know where it wants to go. If this doesn't break away, boom. This needs to be challenged. Would you not say? Would you agree with me? We need to challenge this quote-unquote volume imbalance, close to open. A challenge into. You see, there's a second. We can call that a second touch. Would you call that a second touch? We need to challenge that first. So, yeah, like, you know, sometimes, in all fairness, when I'm reading Price Live, and this is like a good opportunity to discuss this, put myself in other people's shoes. Sometimes we're looking at price and we don't really know what's going on. Sometimes you have redelivery. Sometimes you have time distortion. And you have both concepts working hand in hand, in a sense. But the truth of the matter is, when you have that playing out, you might actually not know what's going on. That's just the truth. You don't know if it wants to go higher. You don't know if it wants to go lower. And when I say you, I should speak for myself. I'm not too sure. I'm not 100%. Does this thing want to go higher or does it want to go lower? To me, you know, trying to nail like, oh, it's definitely going to do it, is like, I enjoy that. Personally speaking, I enjoy that. I really do. My camera is here, my screen is there, so I'm talking to you guys. The OBS is on this screen. But, you know, I enjoy that. But the real truth is, not everybody enjoys that type of precision, or they don't want that level of stress. Imagine how stressed somebody would be if they were, you know, trying to read on the 1 minute time frame, by the way, every single 1 minute candle. And then imagine trying to do that for however long. Like the longer, the more quote unquote stressed they would be, right? That's why my focus is, I have a draw in a sense, but my focus is not just, I'm just looking at that draw, because it's almost like people who say I have a goal, and they have a goal and they're looking so far ahead that they're not looking at their feet right now. And you don't get to control the goal that is so far ahead. The only thing you can control is looking at your feet. When you look at you're looking at your steps, taking every step. Now watch this candle, by the way. You know, taking every step. When you take every step, you know, you take one step, You put the next step forward, you take the next step forward, you take the next step forward. That's how you stay in control and you get closer towards your goal. So when price is trash, like what we're seeing right now, this is time distortion working with redelivery. This is exactly what it is. That's what I'm trying to explain or articulate. I think I'm actually talking about things that belong on Discord. But regardless, I hope it impresses you. I hope it's something that gets you thinking. You know, for those who, you know, maybe they're thinking through some of these concepts, it gets you thinking. It gets you, you know, okay, there's a reprint. Come on now. Don't embarrass me. Just take that liquidity, man. Like, you're trying to embarrass me. They're trying to embarrass me on purpose. And I would like it to be like thick and fast. Like, I'm talking about like a strong, you know, a nice bearish order block there to be formed. You know, like a nice one. In fact, like, so encapsulating, you would encapsulate like this range, this particular PDRA, it needs to die for it to get here. But that's what distortion and redelivery looks like. In all fairness, we have 20 seconds, 19, 18, 17. So we need it, you know, to give us that power to get to this PDRA here. But not just that, you know, so we're talking about direction, but we're also talking about things that we need to see to give us a, you know, a type of strength. Because this guy is so strong, he needs to be killed with strength. You know, you fight fire with fire for fire. Okay, now you see the breach. You see the breach there? They don't want to give it to me, man. It's reclaiming this one. Come on. Like, they are really trying to embarrass me, aren't they? They're like, no, he's on fire. Nah, I'm only joking around. It did breach though. You know, I saw the signs there. Now is that, you know, it came there by the time it opened, it gave the strength, and now it's, you know, giving us immediate rebalance, you know, some sort. So, you know, let's see where the cookie crumbles. But yeah, like, you know, these are the things that I look at when I'm talking about redelivery and time distortion, or just price is trash. This is why I'm never too surprised. No matter what price is doing, I'm never too surprised. So when you have a sense of control on what's going on in live price action, the only other thing that you need to focus on is your risk management. One second. Yeah, like the only other thing you need to focus on is your risk management. And when you can focus on your risk management, it helps you, like, we're talking about the lowest risks or the lowest risk. You don't get to be just, you know, risking anything. You know, what do you guys think? Hey, you know, give me feedback in the chat. What up, chat? Trying to sound like I show speed. What do you guys think? Does it make sense? Is it, you know, does it make you think differently? Or maybe the question I should be asking is, you know, how does it impress upon you? I don't know how people can dream. Some people do. Some people, you know, Meba said, by the way, Meba said, I don't know how people can trade PM only. Some people genuinely do. Some people genuinely just trade PM. Like, that's all they. But think about it. If the time that you have is allocated to just, you know, simply, if the time you have is because you're working a job or you're busy, I mean, think about, you know, say the women, maybe it's a mom, a mother, who, like she has to be at home, but she's also thinking how she can help add to the household economy. What would she do? Maybe she's with kids and she can't go outside because she needs to take care of her children. But at the same time, we live in a flexible world now where people can make money digitally. What would she do? And maybe PM is the only time she has to be able to trade. Well, she would have to learn a skill. She would have to gain information to be able to then do the time that is allocated, because the price moves every time. Like markets move every day. So just because, some say, think about it, everybody loves the AM session, but we've seen some of those AM session, those session times, we've seen them be trash. Like it just would not move. And there is nothing you can do about it. Because once that controller shows up, that's it. Go on Twitter, you will see everybody complaining, oh, price is trash. And I'm just like, yeah, I know, I understand, and I empathize. But at the same time, these are the same people who don't believe price is 100% controlled. So what do you want me to do? Solo asked, curious to know what type of trades you would take with this knowledge. I don't know. Well, you guys are putting me on the spot here, man. What types of trades would I take? Well, let's just say I like to predict clean sessions, or I like to anticipate clean periods. And if I figure we're in time distortion and we're also functioning in like redelivery all over the place, or quote unquote price is trash style, I'll probably be a millionaire for every time I've said price is trash. But yeah, like when you can anticipate certain things like this, it helps you hold back. You can hold your powder. You can save your bullets for the next period, or for the next sequence of when it's gotta go, or up or down or whatever. When you see manipulation because they're slowing things down, or they're designing these candles on purpose in such a weird way or weird fashion, it allows you to actually you get to take specific types of trades. But I like a clean market. I like clean action. I like a clean delivery. I like when I can see a PD array that is acting as a stubborn child, and you just got to be patient for the child to calm down, and there's not much you can do about it. What type of trades? I'm a market maker model, just like ICT. I love a market maker model. Let us know what you don't like us asking, man, like Michael does, just so we don't end up crossing the line without realizing. No. Like, I'm not upset. Like, I'm not upset. You can ask, anything. Like, what they say, right? Closed mouths don't get fed. If you don't ask, you might not. Or, if I'm being honest, like I do see the questions and I am answering the questions. I'm just trying to answer them in a non-direct way, because some questions are, it's unfair to, other people who, that's why I say, if you want anything free, go to ICT. I'm just a student. Remember that. I'm just pre-market was clean solo. Yeah. I'm just a student, and I still consider myself a student. But it is what it is, man. Like, we're all trying to be serious here. We're trying to be, realistic. We live in the real world here, so. But yeah, no, I appreciate the questions. The fact that you guys are here, like, I'm glad you're here. Imagine if you weren't here. That's one less viewer or one less participant in the chat. And to be honest with you, that's one less like and one less subscribe. So how can I not appreciate that? I really like this current candle right now. This current candle is a deciding candle. Is a 248. It's going to decide whether we go up or down. This one, this specific one. So pay attention to this candle. It is going to close in about 30. So, we're in the second half of the minute now. So pay attention to this specific candle. And this is not some price is only trash. Price is only trash when you lose. That is so true. That is so true. Price really is only trash when you're losing. Man, that is a fact. That's a strong fact right there. Yeah, pay attention to this range. You know what I'm gonna do? Just to emphasize, like just to show off. Watch this. I'm gonna move it to 3 p.m. Pay attention. If this candle, this current candle, gives us a reprint of a bearish order block, then you can anticipate where it could go. If it doesn't, liquidity, and like I just can't stand these higher time frame PDRAs. They really annoy me, Like they can be very frustrating. But right now, I do admit price is just absolutely trash. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Level up. All right, new candle. You see that? See that right there? You guys saw that, right? I know you saw that right there. You see the macro now? The macro is flirting with the premium of that range. So this candle closed right there, gapped open, boom, discount, open, premium, and now the 250 is flirting, manipulating. But that range, they're dealing with that range. So this is real price is trash. Like it's not really going anywhere, and there's nothing I could do. If you are in a trade right now, if anyone's in a trade right now, like there's a different. How many handles is that? Let me try to get the prices. Let's say that's 2,959.50. 2,950. Like what? Three handles. It sucks, man. You see that open right there? This is what I'm talking about, guys. Look at that right there. Right there. You see that? Closing here, gaps open right there at the very candle that I said this is the important one. And 950, if we get a bearish order block, the question is, when did we get the bearish order block? That's the question we need to ask. When? When did we get the bearish order block? A lot of people are looking at order blocks right now, and they'll be like, oh, well, it's currently forming because this candle is the one that closed right there. But when does ICT say you get the state in the trade? Change in the state of delivery. Sorry, I'm missing the chat. Do you ever use order flow in your trading? If not, why? King, I salute whoever you are. You want to put me in the crosshairs? Okay, I'll answer the question. Personally, I don't use order flow. Personally, the chart that you see right now, this is how I read price in real time. I don't use order flow because I lean on PDRAs, because I have learned over time that the PDRAs don't fail me. I think I understand how ICT is taught the PDRAs, and basically I read the candles live. I just read the candles live and I trust what I see. And I put PD arrays together. Now, obviously, right now you guys are listening to me talk. I'm thinking of what do I say? How do I articulate? How do I keep this live stream entertaining enough? Just keep rambling and rambling and rambling. Yapping. Mr. Yapper, right? I'm thinking about you guys. I'm thinking, what do you need to hear? And at the same time, I'm thinking I better not say anything that would breach or that would go against, people who are actually paying. How do you weigh PD arrays? Like, how does one be more qualified to be stronger than others? I don't know who you are, man, but you are good. You're really good, and I do appreciate the question. By the way, guys, please do like and subscribe. It has been helping me so far, and I'm guessing, I imagine, is the reason why people like King maybe so I don't know who it is. I genuinely don't, but these are great questions. So PD arrays, I weigh them based on a range. There's a range everywhere. There are inside ranges, external ranges that belong in another inside range. The point is they belong in a range. And PD arrays, especially inefficiencies, depending on where they are, it tells me which one do I need to look. I'll give you an example. I made mention. Oh, thank you, King. Yeah, like I made mention of 248 on the 1 minute chart. That specific candle, that one, not the one before, not the one after. I mean, I wouldn't have known, but that one. And I said, pay attention to this specific candle. And I was saying, if we get a bearish order block, we're gonna go lower. Remember, this guy is still annoying us, still frustrating us. And there you go. Boom. Da da da. Ooh, Lord, I give it all to you. Yeah. Yeah, so King said, so if things are in premium, you short. But like, how do you decide on rejection block and order block or fair value gap, etc.? Okay, so here's basically what it is. Try and think of an algorithm. If this thing is, yes, be easy. You know it. Oh, you know it, brother. You know it. You know how we do. We know what's up. But yeah, so think about an algorithm. If a PD array, by the way, these terms, arrays, I'm studying AI engineering right now, as well as, with my trading and as well with, this thing, because I want to go ahead and, I guess, I can talk about it now. But yeah, I want to go ahead and create my own model. I don't believe in indicators, as, some of you guys would know. But if you're going to automate a system, you need to be able to train it, and you need to be able to learn how these things work. Because the very same people who, the same data scientists who created automated trading, they, influenced the financial markets, made it automated and all these things, people who are great in math, computer science, people who work with the likes of Jim Simons. These community of people, they're the same people who then moved to Silicon Valley, who worked for Google, and then they created Google Ads. If you know about Google Ads, they created, Google Ads. They created a programmatic, advertising, and also they basically just, got shafted from financial markets. They left Wall Street to go work in Silicon Valley, and that's where we get machine learning, deep learning. That's where we get, these, AI, open AI, as a matter of fact. If you do your investigation into OpenAI, if you do your investigation into, the guys who work for, is it Moonshot AI or no, not Moonshot? I don't. Anyway, like the AI guys, the nerds, the people who are really progressing the space. if you look in the background, it's the exact same skills as the guys who work in the hedge funds, literally. And that's just the truth. Um, it's just the truth. So I don't know what else to say. But so yeah, that's what I'm studying right now, because I studied ICT for so long. I think I have a good grasp, a good understanding of what he was trying to teach. I'm glad that I learned well. But basically, I say all that to say that that has now inspired me to now want to progress to the next level, what I consider the next level. So, who knows, in the future, years from now, I can compete with with deep professionals. I have King says I have an automated brief every morning, but it's based on volume only. It's also based on ranges, and then I use MS market structure to validate MS. I'm guessing you're saying market structure to validate longs or shorts, but ICT keeps telling me volume doesn't work, and it does. Hey, listen, I don't know what to say, but look at this, guys. Do you put in the chat, like this is a challenge type question, or whatever type of question you want to put in the chat. Do you think there's precision here? Are these precision concepts? Do you think there's control here? Do you think there's precision here? I mean, do you think that there's something going on? Ooh. I mean, put it in the chat. Do you think there's something going on? Or do you think I'm just getting lucky somehow? Because the luck is piling up. I'll tell you that. The luck is piling up. Now we're talking about 1 minute candle, 1 minute time frame. So each candle is 1 minute time frame. 50% is very nice, but also OTE. Oh, yeah, I didn't even look at OTE. I didn't even look at, I didn't even look at OTE. I didn't look at these things. I just PDRAs, baby. It's like a turn by turn. It's like code. It's like, okay, this thing is activated now. Boom. Therefore, this is next. Boom. Therefore, this is next. Boom. If this activates now, boom. Therefore, this is next. This is going to be deactivated, and then boom. Therefore, this is next. That's what this means. That's how my brain is functioning. ICT is synonymous with precision. Yeah, that's true. That's ICT for you. But yeah, 248. The order block hadn't even confirmed yet, guys. The change in the state of delivery hadn't even confirmed yet. Just think about that. This is exactly what I'm saying when I'm talking about calling arrays before they form. I am convinced this is the best way of reading price action. I am convinced this is the elite way of reading price action. The things like measuring this and measuring that, it's good. They help support what we're trying to do. But like I said about the analogy about the draw is like having a goal. You cannot control what's ahead of you, but you have to be able to know where you're walking. And I like to know where my feet is at in current time, while also looking at the road ahead where I'm trying to get to. Meva said, when price action respects these levels to the tick, but takes it out very shortly, how do you read it? I'll tell you tomorrow. Come on by. King said, what made it click for you? Like, at what point did you become profitable? I've told this story before. Yeah, man. I've told you, I've mentioned this story before in PB Space and other spaces and in private conversations with people. So what happened to me was in 2023, I started observing certain things. Things started popping for me. Things were looking good. There was a level of confidence, but it wasn't anything like it wasn't anything worth what you would consider worthy. But then in 2024, ICT was doing a 2023 between 2023 and 2024, I started observing certain things, certain phenomena, if you want to, call it that. I started observing things that ICT keeps talking about because he kept repeating them. Now, the trick about 2023 is that the videos are ridiculously long. It's the worst year in all of the content. All of them. It's the worst one. But it's also the best one. It's the worst one because that's the one where everybody was falling asleep. I mean, we're talking 4 hours. This guy was going. He was going for something. And he was dropping loads. And he was really dropping all the bombs. Like, it was sweet. But it was the one that really makes it filtered who is serious about learning this and who's not. That's why I say it was the worst. But for me, it is the absolute best because the very things that I use that has given me the absolute control that I think that I have it all came from 2023. And then in 2024, in the chartered group, one of the times, so ICT would be, he'll be calling price, tape reading price with us by text and all these kind of things. And, sometimes he'll send a screenshot, or, all these type of things. And I was doing the same. So I thought I should take it upon myself as a challenge to see, could I do the same? So I started doing that. I think this was in September or August, thereabouts. And so 2024. And so I started doing that. And then one of the times, I think it was in October or so, or it might be in September still. There I was, saying, like posting things like, yeah, I know, PP. 2023 is the one nobody wants to go study. It's too long. Who's gonna watch 4 hours and 5 hour videos, man? But anyway, back to the story. So there I was, texting and texting the, like price action, the way ICT was doing it. And then ICT was doing it at the same time. He was talking about, certain things like I would post about this candle and, this PD array, and then he would talk about it after. So it felt like I was ahead of him in a sense. It felt like that. And then one of the ones that really convinced me was one time I was doing this same activity and ICT then came, he texted in the group and he said, so this was after, something that he posted about reading price. It was so good, so perfect, everything good. And I was feeling myself like, okay, I'm definitely reading something correctly here. And then ICT goes and makes the statement, what you see me do, or what you just saw me do is enigma. He literally made that statement. And he texted it in the group. And in my mind, I was like, well, if what you're doing is what you say is enigma, that nobody knows what it is. Because remember, like, he never really told anybody what it was, back then, in 2024 anyway. And he was making that statement in the charter group. So in my mind, I was like, well, if what you're doing is enigma, and I'm practically doing the same thing, then I definitely must be on the right path. And that's where the confidence grew. People started DMing me, like other charter members started DMing me and, asking questions like, how did you, what did you figure out? And that's where this journey started. That's where a lot of the confidence really came, and, things just grew upon the other. And I started focusing and I narrowed in more into what I believed was the real source. And then the more I asked certain questions about about specific things, the more he was unloading more of them. Because the thing about it was, ICT himself did tell us in the charter group, he likes questions that gets him, is like when he feels like somebody is really onto it, he will literally answer their questions in the video. And that's why he likes good questions. Like if you notice in in other spaces when ICT is talking about, saying, people asking questions, like, PB Banks will ask certain questions, and he'll be like, yeah, that sounds like a question that will come from a charter member. Because he knows there are certain questions that only come from someone who definitely paid. They definitely got a whole different class of information, and they've put in the time to study. And because of that awareness, like that language is like, yeah, like that is not coming from 2022 students. That's a fact. I can guarantee you that. So basically that's where, to answer your question, which was, up there, which was what made it click for you. So the question was, what made it click for you? Like at what point did you become profitable? Yeah, so, that's where my journey started. And then I just, just like I say to everyone, have a small account and just keep building it. Don't get mad. Don't get saucy. Just be nice, man. Be nice. Be nice. Everybody got to start from somewhere. 2022, babies. Everybody got to start somewhere. Everybody be nice, man. But yeah, like that's how it started for me. And then the rest was literally going way back to the risk management videos that he did, like 2017, 2016. Like I'm talking about the commentary videos that he did like way back for the 2016, 2017 students in 2018. And, I just went all the way back and I was looking for those specific, things. And then he just kept building on concept upon concept in 2023, 2024. And glory to God, man. I got to the point where I left Ireland. I don't live in Ireland anymore. Glory to God. So I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful. But just look at the chart. Look at your chart right now. Let's look at the chart right now. You see that? I mentioned this PD array. I said it was strong. 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 Price is trash. It could go up. It could go down. I'm looking for confirmation for the algorithm to speak to me. Talk to me, darling. Right here. I'm like, you know what? 248, that's the one. That time, that, like that PD, if it gives me that right there, I know that we're cooking now. Oh, we are cooking now. Let's go. It gave us this candle right there is the one for me that confirmed the state in the state of delivery right there. And that's why I was like, I'm gonna draw this blue zone across just to make the point for the after the fact. And then we started getting this indecision candle, if you want to put it that way. And then we got this gap, and it just went, and it just went, and it just went, and it just went, and it just kept going. It just kept going. It breached. It finally breached this specific PD array that I was talking about with speed. Remember what I was talking about? What I wanted to see here? It came to spike, but it didn't do it. But it did the same thing right there, because I know it's got to do it like this. Not some, Mickey Mouse gradual something. It has to do it like this, because this PD array is another form of my controller. It's just showing up differently, but it's another form of my... Notice it's not the bullish order block. Let me show you. Let me zoom in. Let's create a little clip for, content creation, so we can cut it. We can cut it later. Look at this time, 108, and the close of 109. So I'm using the close. You see that? Close to close, baby. Close to close. Not close to open like this one here. That's a different PDRA to close to close. It's a different one. So that's why I was saying pay attention to this one. What's the aim? No, man, can you tell me what a circuit breaker is? I don't. By the way, King, do you follow me on Twitter? You're asking some good questions, by the way. And I appreciate the participation, everybody. I really do appreciate it. I'm grateful, as always. But anyway, yeah, so that's why I was saying pay attention to this. It's a closing price to a closing price relationship. It's just another, it's like one of the classes, if you want to put it that way, to what I was considering, or what I consider controller. Because the controller, just like yesterday, just like today, like the one that, was it today? No, it was, no, we didn't talk about it today. It was yesterday. But just to prove the point, between 330 and 350, I showed that earlier. I might go back to it in a minute. But anyway, yeah, so that's what I was just trying to say. Like, these types of PDRAs, they're very frustrating. They're too strong. And when you see it, working like that, it's going to work it through. It's going to work it through. And then eventually it's going to breach. And then it's going to come into the, quote unquote PDRA that we were saying we wanted price to come down into. And right there, it's been flirting in the, it's been flirting in that range, if we can call it that. It's been flirting, 50% right here, breach right there, boom. I mean, I don't want to have to extend these because, this thing is dropping like real nice. Answering the next question. Oh yeah, and then PB Bank said 2023 is the best. Yes. King said, so which way would you start listening to ICT? Chronologically in time or from a certain point? 2023 question mark. By the way, thanks for the stream. I appreciate what you are doing. Thank you, King. I appreciate that you guys are here. As always, I appreciate your appreciation. But yeah, so the way I think to start is you want to learn 2022. If you haven't watched the core content, it is healthy. You want to go through core content. Go through the core content first. You're going to come across information that will seem outdated. You will. It's just the truth, my opinion, but I think it's the truth. And because there are certain things that just seem to be a little bit different. Not that they're too different, but just you have to go through them. When you go through them, you'll be able to see the difference. You'll be able to see the you see what I mean there? You see what I mean by, I don't want to drag this across because it's it's dropping, like it has dropped too much, and now we're getting the reaction. I'm wondering now, is that control? You see what I mean? It's just, it's very annoying. But that's what it does. You cannot control the controller. Yeah, so you're gonna come across certain concepts, and yeah, so you go through 2016, and then you want to go through 2022, because 2022 is really where he started talking more about indices stuff. Like, he started with S&P 500, and then he started talking about NASDAQ. But yeah, these are things that I think are more connected to 2022. Now, it's going to take you a while because you're going all the way back, but it is what it is. Like, you're going to have to spend the time. And then, like, you're going to get there eventually. At the very least, you're going to gain more confidence in your knowledge. You're going to gain more insight to how these markets book. And eventually, you're going to be a guru as well. Because the truth is, ICT is probably the first. ICT is, the first person or the first concept that has given so many people so much confidence in approaching a market that now it's like they've suffered so much that now everybody wants to go post their trades, and there you go, controller has been touched again, back to back. We don't miss, folks. We don't miss. I'm telling you. Well, maybe one day I'll miss. Maybe my luck will run out. Might be sooner than later. But anyway, yeah. So you want to go through 2016 first. First, you want to do exactly what he says about taking notes. You want to pay attention. You want to nerd 2016. It is 10 years ago content, but you want to go through it first. There are other individuals that have asked me the same questions, and I say to them, look, you're gonna have to go through 2016 because you need to understand the language first. It's like the foundational, like the dictionary in a sense. And then when you start going through 2022, 2023, 2024, you're going to come across even way more. It would seem complicated to you at the time, but it is not complicating. It is not complicated. It's just because you're not familiar, or it just feels like you're hearing, two different information. But it is not two different information. I consider it an upgrade in a sense. So yeah. Where was that question? So that was what made it click for you? No, I've already answered that. So which way would you? Yes, I've already answered that now. Chaotic, hey, Chaotic DeFi, what's good, man? Chaotic DeFi is another gentleman who has always been interacting with me. And this guy, I think he's AI. I think he lives online, for real. He's everywhere. You've gone quiet lately, though. What's going on? Did life get in the way or something? You're a lot more quiet in the, like I don't see you in other people's comments anymore. Like I'd be going on other people's posts and I'll just see his name randomly. I'm like, man, this guy's everywhere. But anyway, yeah, good to see you here, man. Thank you for participating. PB Bank said 2022 and you two babies get that. Usman said, looks like yesterday's New York AM session. Yeah, it does look a bit similar. You're right. King then asked, what's a imp node, mate? And can you tell me what a circuit breaker is? I don't know what an imp node is. A lot of people have claimed to know what an imp node is. The closest to what I think imp node is intraday market profile. It's the closest. It's nothing for me to hide. It's not information that needs to be hidden. Nobody knows what it is. A lot of people are guessing what it is. I think I'm very close, like really, really close to knowing what it is. But the closest hint or guess or hunch that anybody in the space could say about what is ICT's imp node is intraday market profile. That's what I think, that's the closest because, I is intraday, M market, P profile. That's the closest thing in the core content that is connected to anything imp node. Other than that, nobody knows, and there shouldn't be anything you should be worried about. Just like when he was talking about Enigma, like it's none of your business. It's none of my business. And I didn't waste my time trying to figure out things that are like you see some people, they try to be, yeah, I cracked imp node and I sorted it out, and like, no, they did not. No, they did not. That's just the truth. And even, without sounding too prideful, if I don't know what imp node is, I guarantee you nobody does. Nobody. I can I can say that with the fullest chest. If I don't know what it is, and I know what I think it might be because of the things that I use with time and all these kind of things, then, and I don't even have the full, like the full confidence that I know, because he hasn't said. How can you know something that a man hasn't really said? It's impossible. So, thank you for asking the question. Yes, I'll write to you. What's the significance of 369 in ICT's world? The significance of 369 in ICT's world is this. Lil Jon made a song, 369, right? Yeah, that's the closest thing to 369. Now, I'm only, I'm only joking. 369 basically came from one of the students, and one of ICT's charter students, and they ran with power of 3, and it was based on the number 3, basically. And because of that, they ran with that, and the closest thing to the logic is, because of how, chips, and, if you look into 3D, like if you're into the nerdy stuff, tech, coding, like, saying like graphics cards or something like that. If you're into all that kind of stuff, well, things that I come across because of my exposure to studying AI basically I'm studying AI the same way I'm studying ICT and technical science. So I'm trying to, really geek out on this thing. But yeah, if you're into those things, then, 3D and all these kind of things. But yeah, it's not because of that. It's not. So, 369 is absolutely irrelevant, because it's nothing to do about, whether it's a 3-minute time frame. If you notice, that's why you get them using 3-minute time frame, or 6-minute time frame, or 9-minute time frame, or they'll tell you, oh, that the candle he was talking about, it was 248, and 248 is on the 3-minute time frame. It's on the, and he didn't. Like, listen, trust me, you have no idea. It's definitely not based on 369. Okay, I will watch it. Nothing wrong to use some time getting to become better traders. Absolutely. I love the mindset. I love the mindset of growth. Yep, your future is bright. Core content, and then 2020, and then 2016. So 2016 is core content. Unless you have access to the pirated, information, then you're not gonna get it. So you might as well just don't waste your time. Just go core content, and then 2022, 2023, 2024, and just, yes, you're gonna have to put in the time. It is what it is. This is, free YouTube. You're gonna have to put in the time to unlock certain things. Like I said yesterday, there's always a cost. You're paying somehow. We all gotta pay. PP said, what's outdated from core content? Ooh, okay, saucy. Okay, so we had the closing day. Closing used to be 4 p.m. 4 p.m. New York. And then if you look on, say, indices, for example, it's 4:15 regular. And then, we got things like the market on close. And then we also got silver bullets. We also got what else would I consider updated? That's a good question, actually. Like basically, if you watch core content, for the most part, majority of the content has to do with it had to do with forex, Globex, the time that the forex opens and stuff like that. So if you then use, great example, if you use the 4 hour time frame, like this is just, you know, I tried to horn him, spill the beans. Nah, yeah, he's never gonna tell us what him note is, man. It's too good. But yeah. So basically, if you use the 4 hour time frame on forex, like let's say euro dollar, and then you use the 4 hour time frame on Nasdaq, you're gonna get two different times. The openings of the candles, the times the candles open, they're gonna be totally different. So you know, it's little things like that. And then also, if you use the 1 hour time frame on those, on say like Nasdaq regular trading feed, I could show you, couldn't I? I mean, you guys probably already figured this out. So this is 1 hour time frame on so yeah, it opens at 6. No, actually, let me use this one. Like this is obviously common sense. So this is 10 a.m. This is sell candle here is 10 a.m. When I use RTH, pay attention to that. You see that? It's 10:30. So you know, things just, you know, things change because the regular trading feed. Now that's not to say like, you know, it has anything to do with, you know, anything ICT core content specifically. But the point that I'm trying to make is that like I think things have been updated for sure. For sure things have been updated. And there are concepts, like there are PDRAs. There are PDRAs that are in core content, like say month 4, for example. If you use month 4 as the PD, you know, as your PDRA backup, you are missing out on a whole lot. A whole lot. I mean, like, you know, there's some people that love the core content, but we would definitely be missing out on a whole lot if we relied only on core content PDRAs. Next question is, what? No, 2016, then core. No, he fixed that. Luazi, hey Luazi, how you doing? Let me move through the list fast because you guys are active. I'm enjoying this, man. This is fun. Okay, can you please touch a little on reclaimed order block? Reclaimed order block, please. Reclaimed order block basically, you know, it's ICT has already covered reclaimed order block, you know, in ad nauseum, I think. I think if I start answering some of these questions in the way that I would like to answer them, it wouldn't be fair to say the guys like Meva can't wait to learn about the control. Yeah. It's not an easy one. It's not an easy one. I'll tell you that. As you can see why it's not an easy one. Let me go back to the 1 minute. You see what I mean? We had this thing here. If I just so you know, we're not forgetting. We had this PDRA here, and I was saying, well, you know, right here, I was saying like, you know, it's already dropped so far. It's like it shouldn't drop that lower, and then it went back, and then I said it's gonna go back to this controller here, and it went there, boom, back to our special. I mean, guys, look, I'm not trying to make it sound like I am ICT's replacement, but I can guarantee you, honestly, you're not doing any better without the PDRAs. That it's just that. Nobody's gonna get better at ICT concept without actually understanding its framework. If you don't understand the logic, like if I forget PDRAs, forget Fibonacci measurements, forget OTE, forget all of that for a second, just absorb his framework, like his framework. And you only learn that by watching his videos. You get to learn almost like, I mean, for me personally, I guess I actually wanted to learn the man. For a moment, I think it was in 2022 winter, I was like, you know what? This guy is going to keep teaching forever. So I want to learn the man. I want to understand how he thinks. It took me a couple years, but then last year, 2025, I started telling you guys, on Twitter, like, I think he's going to teach this in the 2025 mentorship, when he announced he's going to teach again in 2025 winter, or, like the, Q4. Like, he announced it in August. So if you look at my post about that in August last year, you'll see it. And then I did the same thing in 2026. And so far, that's exactly what he's been doing. It's because once you learn the man and you learn his framework, you understand how he's putting these things together, you start to connect things. Honestly, like, I'm not trying to, I guarantee you, like, I'm not special. I may be doing content and I might be enjoying this right now, but I'm no special guy. I put in time and I studied. That's all. Like, it's really that simple or straightforward. Can't wait till no, I read it. That's why I was asking. I saw the lower on X about ICT stuff. Oh yeah, yeah, I know. Okay, so people said I tried to get the horn spill. Oh yeah, nah, you ain't gonna spill by imp, no man. You curved it hard. I remember I was actually in that space. King said I did a back test on time. I found that your inversions are very likely to happen every day at 9:45 to 9:23 candle. I think that was a typo. Mindset driven. Hi, mindset driven. Hey guys, please, again, as you know the routine goes, please do like and subscribe. It has been helping me so far. I'm encouraged by, because the truth is about all this YouTube stuff, you don't really know how it's gonna go. You don't know, are you even gonna be good at it? Are you gonna be, is it gonna work out? Are people even gonna show up? But so far I've been really, really, really excited, and I'm really encouraged by it. So please do like and subscribe. King said, yeah, so Mindset said, what do you think separates students who have been learning ICT for 3 to 5 years and not profitable versus students who are profitable in a year, maybe a year and a half? Instant, Caleb, Hannah FX, etc. I think they simplified. They chose one thing. They simplified it. Now, if you're talking about Caleb, ICT's son, then I put that down to having direct access to the man himself. Like, you're not gonna get any better mentorship than your own dad. Like, let's just put it that way. It's not happening. I've never spoken to ICT. The one chance I had was cut off, and yeah, it was cut off because I think maybe somebody was jealous, or somebody didn't want the. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I've never spoken to him. I've accepted I probably never will, but I know he has taught me everything like that I need to know, and I can tell you it's like he speaks to me directly. Even some of the posts, some of the things he says, I'm like, wait, is my man talking to me like like figure it out kind of thing. But obviously that's just in my head. I don't I don't think he knows who I am anyway. Yeah, so someone like Caleb has access to ICT. Someone like Hannah FX, she's been in the game a while. She has been in the game a while. If you were watching her in 2022 when she got in, she was taking notes. She did a watch me as I grow, kind of series on YouTube at the time. So, we're talking about people who, like, they're studious. And I think that what separates people who become profitable is, number one, Hannah FX, she was already in the game a while. Before ICT. So, let's not conflate or confuse. So, she already understood, trading to an extent, but they simplify things, and then they use a healthy risk management routine. Like, they have a healthy risk management strategy that helps them. So even when they do lose, they get things wrong, it doesn't matter, because as long as you're not blowing, the market will sort out the rest. And if you're fighting somebody who just will never die, there's only one alternative left. It's the enemy who's gonna die. Because, and it's the same thing with your account. If your account just would never die because you're protecting it, because it's protected by you, its master, then there's hope. There will always be hope. So I think, a lot of that is now in Caleb's case, I think, Daddy just really gave him something good, something strong. I genuinely believe that. It's his son. Like, come on. I mean, if you were ICT's son, wouldn't you ask for sauce? Like, I know I would. King said, why didn't you chart the 1 hour in inversion fair value gap at the lows, and would you class that as a breakaway gap since we didn't touch it today? I didn't look at the 1 hour except for when I was trying to make the point, but let me go to it. I think he's gone anyway because he said gotta go. Good talking today. What inversion was he talking about? What inversion did you guys want to tell me what time and day on the 1 hour he was talking about? Oh, at the lows. Probably this one. No, what am I talking about? That's a fair value gap. That's not an inversion. At the lows, he said this one maybe. Was he talking about this one on the 1 hour? Maybe he was talking about this one. I don't know, but he's not here, but I do appreciate him. He was very active. I appreciate people like that. Break a block. Oh, okay. So I think he was talking about, yeah, that big one. Okay. Big, yeah. Yeah. I think it was this one. Yeah, so, break a block, reclaimed order block. No. Yeah, like, I mean, it was inversion, and then it was like it was messed with. It wasn't exactly a clean breakaway inversion, but I think I understand what he means. But yeah, thanks to him, coming by. Phoenix said, do you use the index Q zones at all to frame price action? What do you mean by index Q zones? If you're talking about like 9:30 to 11:30 or something, or 9:30 to 10, or those type of things, is that what you mean? Hopefully Phoenix replies if he's still here. But yeah, so far so good. Really great questions. Today was stimulating. I enjoyed. I think today is my favorite so far. I definitely talked about things that I probably would not have talked about otherwise. But this is the 15-minute time frame. Oh, okay. Well done. So the way warp works is it automatically siphons you into the group. Let me see over here. 1 second. It's like yeah, so I can see right here it says welcome Meba 80 to Algowick. So yeah, I think you have access. Yeah, it's done straightforward through warp anyway. But I will, like tomorrow, I will invite you into the group. I mean, like when I'm on, like once I get on, like I'll invite you, we'll chat, and yeah, okay, all good. All right. Yeah, so it's pretty straightforward. Thank you, man. It's even nice to be able to say, I have a signing up member on a live stream, baby. That is nice. People who make good decisions for themselves will get rewarded. I'll tell you that right now. They get rewarded easy. Good decisions get mindsets at cap. Why did you pick that 1:06 p.m. fair value gap versus the 1 p.m. fair value gap? Let me go on the 1 minute. I imagine you're talking about the 1 minute. 1:06 was right here instead of this one. It was the next one to be touched. Like, it wasn't anything special. Like, I mean, price did come lower there, so it's not like we couldn't anticipate that. I had this line there, the 1220 high. Like, I had that there as a, you know, if it's gonna come, if it's gonna go touch that, that's gonna be like, again, think about it like you're doing a sale in a shop. Like, say you're running a store or something, and you're doing a sale, and you know you have a cutoff price that, you know, like there's always, you know, these women who are really, really good at knowing the exact right time and the exact right price to get the best deals. You know, so this is where those women are coming in to do deals. And as you can see, I mean, like, you guys saw that line was there way, you know, way beforehand. You can see the sensitivity there is like spike through, spike through, spike through. You know, Lil, you know, close immediately back up, didn't touch, spike through, and then back above. Controller, again, it's a different version, but it's the same. It's doing the same job. But yeah, you know, like it did come into the. But yeah, basically, it's just the. You can call it the first presented fair value gap after the raid. You know, like. Regardless, it was gonna go there. That's the point. As your next target. I hope that answered the question. And I do apologize if I seem cagey on some of the questions. Actually, let me go back to Luazi's. Luazi, are you still here? If you're still here, I'll try and answer the question in a fair manner. Okay, so it's different version of controller is very important for higher time frames to get the narrative. I don't talk about controller. I just say what it does, but you know, I just say what it does. It's a fair value gap. It's just a fair value gap. It's just like any other fair value gap. You can put it that way. It's just like any other fair value gap. Okay, Luazi, all right. I'm glad you're still here. Your question was about reclaimed order block, right? Let me look it up. I'm looking for it. I can't find it. I can't find it. Where did it go? It was in the chat. But yeah, you know, I don't talk about controller because, number one, ICT, it's not ICT's name. It's something that I noticed or observed. Like, he would talk about certain fair value gaps. It would describe what they do without giving it a name. So for me to be able to remember and just, you know, like understand, oh, I think this is, you know, this is one of those ones. So I had to put a name on it. You know, just like when I put the name on the filler and I was posting about filler, and then he came around and he basically said it's event horizon. So I just started calling it event horizon, but I still call it filler, you know, just for, you know, the tag name, but it's, you know, event horizon. Yes, Meva, it will be shared absolutely in Discord. I will talk about it for sure. For sure. You know, if somebody is paying for something, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, absolutely. It's like, you know, when ICT was doing paid mentorship, you know, like there's different information that I got there in comparison to, you know, 2022, 23, 24 in free YouTube. That's just life, guys. It is what it is. you know. Like I'm not the be all and end all. I'm definitely not ICT. So if ICT hasn't fixed anybody's ability in some way, shape, or form, who am I? That's just the truth. Now, I know what I can do. I know what I have done. I know, how I've helped other people, and I do try my best. And glory to God, He's been working and He's been helping and He's been reassuring. So I'm grateful for that, but it is what it is. There's always a difference. Yeah, so I think Luazi's question was about reclaimed order blocks. I just want him to confirm and then I'll answer that. Yeah, so far so good. So far so good. I do like what prices done today. I like the fact that in the midst of it all, in the grand scheme of things, I think we did good, y'all. I think we did good. I think we showed some good signs of control. I think we showed some good signs of being able to read live price action. I think we showed I think we showed some good signs of how I think someone should read price. Yeah. Gee. Sorry for the apologies on the background. If you guys are hearing that noise, this is the downside of leaving 8 minutes from the beach. 350. You see that? 350 every day. 350. You see that? Every single day. It's like clockwork, It would be better doing New York AM. You're talking about the controller, Meva. Yeah, I know. Like that PD array would be very useful for a lot of people in during New York AM. ICT mentions last hour as 4 specific macros, so every 15 minutes. No, it's not every 15 minutes. You have the 15 to 45, and then you also have the like you have the 350. You have the I'm not confident on this one that he said it, but you have 310 to 315, and then I think you also have the 3 o'clock to 310. But the last hour is like a whole different show anyway. Like it's a whole different ball game. So yeah, that's a good question actually. I'm like, how do I not know that? I guess I don't know everything, eh? Yeah, so that was that. Luazi said yes, asked if you touch a little bit about the 50% of those reclaimed PD arrays, e.g. order block. Okay, so reclaimed, it's four steps. In my personal opinion, it is 4 steps. There are 3 steps before reclaimed. You have the activation of the PD array, and then you have the deactivation of the PD array, and then you have the reactivation of the PD array, and then you have the reclamation of the PD array. So there you go. I've posted about this on my Twitter, so it's not anything that I can't share on here. So now when people go back and look for it, they'll see like, oh yeah, he actually did say that. A lot of gems on there, but it's through text, so you can't really say much. But yeah, so basically those are the 4 steps to PD arrays: activation, deactivation, reactivation, and then reclamation. Nothing gets reclaimed without it being reactivated. The way I explain it in private was, the way I like to explain it is this. Something will be born, and then it's gonna die, and then it's gonna be resurrected, and then it's gonna be able to be used again as new. You know, kind of like a gospel message, right? Something like that. Wow. I guess this specific PD array was really doing the number on everybody, hey? Why am I talking like I'm from New Zealand or South Africa or something? You get me, man. I think I'm getting tired. Maybe that's why. Yeah, so basically that's in a nutshell, that's the little bit about the reclaimed PD arrays. So you name it, name your PD array. It's always like that. That in itself is a sequence. And to all the hiding gurus who might be listening, who might be hiding, because I know you guys are here. I know for sure you guys are here. They don't like you. So, actually, I'm going to address that right now. There are people who don't like you. There are people who, they know, they get a whiff that you know what you're talking about, but they don't like you because you're so confident, because it's almost like God is on your side. Like I don't know if it's envy or jealousy or something, but they just do not like you. And that's just the truth. But when you post something, they see it. They click on it. They check it out. They see the truth in it, but they keep quiet. And then, they also talk about you, behind your back, in a sense. They talk about you in the groups, especially, I might as well say, there's one guy unknown, some guy, I don't know who it is, but always notice these people, they never have their picture up. They never, these trolls, they never have their pictures up. They're too much of a coward to show their face. I mean, I show my face. I'm right here. You know what I look like, pretty boy Floyd. But they never show their faces. But yet they want to troll. They want to say stuff. Almost like, do you even know who you're messing with? Like, you don't know who you're messing with. The person you're trolling is actually the person who could literally hand you gems that would change your trading, and you would be making money from trading, literally making money from trading, and you would quit your job. You will quit your job, hands down. You will become a full-time trader, and you will see the glory of God. But these people, they want to troll you. They want to speak against you. They want to make you look like you don't know what's going on. They want to talk the talk. And I'm like, okay, no problem. Like, do your thing. Like, it is what it is. But those people will never find success. It's a fact, because it's a mindset problem. It's a mindset problem. Price in general should be good tomorrow. Yeah, hopefully, man. Like, tomorrow's Friday. Hopefully, I don't know, like, do we get TGIF? Maybe we'll get TGIF after noon, 12 noon, PM session. We'll see. I think TGIF tomorrow should be after noon, because of the way, like, if you look on the on the weekly time frame or daily time frame, just based on the way it's printing. Yeah, I think we should. Noon would be the right time to get TGIF tomorrow. But we'll see. We'll see what prints. Thank you. You always give light bulbs. Excuse me, I'm burping. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate your appreciation. It's people like you who have always been participating on my posts on Twitter, like things like that. They encourage people who are willing to share. I mean, like I've had a couple of times where I feel discouraged. I'm like, what's the point? Like, why bother? Like, why bother, man? But hey, there you go. 108, 109. Screw. Flirting all day for the rest of the session. That's why we highlight it, right? I mean, what are the odds? Oh, guys like Meva, you're gonna enjoy it tomorrow, man. Watch. You just watch. If you think this is good on YouTube for free, watch what it's like tomorrow. And then maybe you can go tell the others what it's like in private. Like what the difference between Cap Jones reading price in in a paid capacity, and just doing his thing on a free YouTube for content. But you will see. Oh, that's my alarm. That's my bedtime alarm. It's 11 p.m. here. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming by. Do like and subscribe as always. If you like this type of content, like come by. I'm trying to do this every day. At least for the meantime, I'm trying to do this every day, like Monday to Friday, 6:30 to whenever. Typically I'm looking to do about an hour and a half, 2 hours. But yeah, but yeah, I try to, I'm trying to entertain you guys and at the same time give enough value with, price reading in the background. You see that low right there? I love when it does this. I just love when these type of things happen. I really do. But yeah, we keep going. I try to entertain you guys. I try to give good answers, and I try to, give information that, because I know not everybody can afford. I know not everybody can afford it, and I get it. But hey, it is what it is. If you're selling your time, that's the downside, right? We all gotta get by somehow. But yeah, and I'm really enjoying this format right now, and hopefully, we'll see what pops from what. Why do I have a line here? Oh, I think I was trying to show this PD right here, but I like that. As always, all day is like that range, man. It was killing things. That's real murder on close, isn't it? Okay. I mean it this time. I'm like a preacher in closing, like 30 times. All right, see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for coming by. Like and subscribe, and have a good night.